What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for Sports. All right. So in this video, I want to talk about one of the things that has come out about the late great Kobe Bryant in his passing. Now, this is something that some people knew about when he was still alive. As a matter of fact, some people knew about this when he was still playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. But this is something that he admitted to not long before he tragically left us. And this is something that some people have talked about. Even Jenny Buss and Jerry West have talked about this. And that is that all the way back in 2004, Kobe Bryant almost signed with the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, it's interesting because the Clippers are in the news recently, somewhat in the news, more or less because of, Donald Sterling's, being brought up because of his connection or the similarities in situation with Robert Sarver. But, of course, Donald Sterling was the owner back then, and that had a lot to do with why he ultimately didn't sign with the Clippers. It had a lot to do with it. But if you go back to 2004, at the time when Kobe Bryant was seriously considering going to the Clippers, this is when his relationship with many in the organization was at its low point. They had just lost to the Detroit Pistons in the NBA Finals. This was before Shaq was traded to the Miami Heat, which of course was to appease Kobe Bryant. Ultimately, they sided with the younger player over the talent that they had acquired 8 years prior. But at this point in time, Kobe was mad at everybody. All right, Kobe was pissed off at the Lakers organization. He was pissed off at people in the front office. His relationship with Shaq was pretty much at its end. Like he just couldn't coexist with him anymore. And let's be honest, Kobe Bryant was dealing with some things outside of basketball that were probably frustrating him. And perhaps at this time, he felt like he needed a fresh start. Now, of course, the Clippers made sense because he didn't have to move. They were still in LA, so that appealed to him. Another aspect that appealed to him was that, as we all remember, the Clippers during the Donald Sterling era were a complete dumpster fire clusterfuck. And the challenge for Kobe Bryant, then at the peak of his powers, only 24, 25, going on 26 years old, the peak of his powers. The challenge to try to turn that franchise around to a championship one appealed to him. Also, we have to remember that Jerry West at that time was a consultant with the Clippers. And Jerry West and Kobe Bryant had a close relationship. So these were all determinant factors as to why Kobe Bryant ultimately, he gave a verbal agreement. He had verbally agreed to the owner to sign with the team. It was all but done. But the one person who we have to thank for talking him out of it was Jerry West. Now, Jerry West was a consultant with the Clippers, but he knew Donald Sterling. He knew what type of an asshole he was. He knew what type of racist he was. And he knew Kobe Bryant's personality. He was adamant with Kobe, don't sign with this team. Stay with the organization. They're going to make the right decision. Just keep the faith. They're going to make the right decisions. So ultimately, Kobe Bryant, who had told Donald Sterling, I'm a Clipper. I'm a Clipper. He had second thoughts. He backed off. And then I think maybe shortly afterwards, this started reverberating within the Lakers organization. Hey, we're going to lose Kobe. So that's and Kobe was a free agent, so you know he could just walk. So that's when they traded Shaquille O'Neal. Shortly thereafter, I believe, and right before the start of the 2004-05 season, I think it was before training camp, if I remember correctly. Someone can correct me in that time period, but I think it might have been around late August or September '04 when they traded Shaq. So with Shaq now gone and the organization in Kobe Bryant's hands, he re-signed and stayed with the organization. And ultimately, even though he got frustrated again, maybe 3 years later, because hey, he's putting up all these great numbers, but it's not conducive to winning. He hasn't got any help, but he stayed, and then ultimately the situation worked itself out because ultimately he won two NBA championships with the Los Angeles Lakers. So sometimes, even though the grass looks greener on the other side, sometimes it's best to just wait things out and let's see how the chips fall. You know. But anyway, tell me what you guys think about this.